Hello everybody, welcome to TìandTarot, or welcome back to TìandTarot. So today we are doing your January predictions. As it's almost the new year, this is a really good way to kind of set intentions for the next year and to kind of see what you should kind of be prioritizing in the year ahead and what's in store for you as well. What's kind of going to happen in the first sort of month of the new year. So we have 5 piles for you today, and this is a pick-a-pile reading. So if you don't know how pick-a-pile readings work, I'll explain that to you now. Essentially, you just choose whichever pile you feel most intuitively drawn to. Either that's because of the energy of the pile, maybe the card or crystal or object on top, or maybe it's something to do with the numbers in the timestamps or the number of the pile itself. So we have numbers 1 to 5 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if any of those numbers vibe with you, you could also pick based on that. And also there will be your astrology sign down below in the description box. So you can also pick your pile based on that as well. But if you do like to pick your pile with the objects on top, today we are using flowers. So for pile 1, we have this dried flower. It's like some sort of double dried daisy type of flower. But I think it's too delicate for the camera to focus. For pile 2, we have a dried lavender bunny tail. For pile 3, we have a yellow flower that I genuinely cannot identify. It kind of just looks like pollen. For pile 4, we have a magenta kind of bunny tail. And finally, for pile 5, we have some pampas grass. Once you have chosen your pile, there will be a timestamp in the description box below for you to find your reading more easily, and I will meet you there. Bye! Welcome, pile 1, to your reading. You chose this sort of double daisy dried flower. You would not believe how much these flowers molt. I've had to swipe the table several times because they just be melting, you know. But yeah, this is the flower you chose, so let's put that here. So your flower gonna be right there. And let's take a look at your significator cards. So for your life generally in January 2025, how are things gonna go? So you've got the growth card, heightening and improvement. Oh my goodness. So for 2025, you're gonna be doing a lot of growth, a lot of inner work. You're gonna be growing and heightening and improving in every area. So anything that you've kind of had a goal for where you're like, I really want to achieve that and go after that. That's what's happening this year. It is all coming to fruition for you in 2025. Okay, so let's put your card off to the side here, and we're going to pull some other cards for your general life. Okay, so what's happening in your general life, pile 1, for January? Oh, we've got a few. Okay, so let's take a look at those. Along with your oracle card. Well, you actually got 2 oracle cards, so you have the strength card, you have the chariot, you have judgment, you have the moon. I hope you can still see it if I put it down here. I think you can. You also have the sun. Oh my god, this is amazing. Okay, and then for your oracle cards, you have cacti, the only pricks worth dealing with. I knew this one would come up for your pile. And have so much light that the plants grow towards you. Okay, so this is such an amazing month for you guys. Genuinely, you're achieving basically everything you want. There's kind of something that was inevitably planned for you. So something along your life journey, your life path, where you were just supposed to achieve it and succeed in it. And this is the year where that is coming true. So there's a lot of speedy progress with what it is you're kind of what it is you're intended for, and it's definitely something big and successful because of the sun card. So it is something really, really amazing where you just excel straight away, you move really quickly towards what it is you want, and you get every type of success from this thing that you could think of, like monetary success, happiness, maybe even connections with other people, all from this kind of effort and drive that's kind of happening in your life, all from these things kind of coming towards you, all these opportunities and the things that you're intended for. You're also kind of being urged to be like a little bit more, not like merciful, because that sounds really weird. It sounds like you're like gonna like punish somebody, but more like kind of like really, really dignified, like very demure, very mindful with people who try to keep your name in their mouth. Like, if people, when they see like your success, there are some people who, because they haven't reached theirs yet and they feel a bit of jealousy and they're just feeling really low about themselves, they're kind of coming out of the woodwork and maybe saying things about you or trying to slag you off while also copying the things you're doing. Like, let's say if you were like, I don't know, let's say you were writing a book and they were like, oh god, their book is so stupid, I would never write a book like that, I would never even do that, my book would be so much better. And then they end up making like the exact same thing word for word that you made, but just in a shittier version. So like they might like talk about you and slag off the things you do, but then go and do those things themselves and actually do it worse because they're copying you, so they're like plagiarizing as well. So you've definitely got like a copycat somewhere this year, or someone just, or just in general like negative comments that are coming from a bad place in terms of how they're feeling, and it actually has no reflection on the work you're doing and the things that you're accomplishing. It's more to do with themselves and how they're feeling inside about the situation. So that's why we've also got cacti, the only pricks worth dealing with. You're being told to kind of keep your peace, especially with the moon card and the strength card as well. So when these people do these things, you're kind of being urged to not react, not be confrontational, to kind of be like, okay, like good for them, and literally don't interact with it. Don't interact with them at all. Don't respond, because it will inevitably come out. Their negative intentions will inevitably reveal themselves. And you don't have to do a thing for that. And eventually they will just like kind of go away as well. So you're being told to kind of keep your cards close to your chest, but also like focus on your success. So success is literally right around the corner for you this year with the sun poking through. I feel like literally from the start of 2025, things are just going to go really smoothly towards what it is you want. So you're being told, focus on your success, leave your haters to, be judged by forces that aren't yourself, and try not to engage with them. Don't, you're growing, you're improving, so that includes your maturity levels, so just don't interact with them. You're going to focus on yourself, on having so much light that the plants grow towards you. So this is like all the plants down here in the sun card are all these successes coming your way, people praising you, people being like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing, look at what you've accomplished. It's all of your accomplishments, all of your acolytes, like it's all of that stuff. So you are the sunshine that all these plants are kind of growing towards, that all the success is coming towards. So this is just such a powerful month and year for you guys. I'm trying to see if I'm getting any other messages. I feel like I'm noticing these stars on her cheek, and I feel like, and stars as well on this motorbike. And stars can represent you having a star quality. So it could also be something in the public eye that you're kind of achieving. But it could also be a wish of yours coming true, wish fulfillment. So this year, a big wish of yours is coming true as well. I've just noticed as well, you've only got major arcana. So these are big changes that are happening this year. So if anything does happen this year that is very, in your favor, very successful, it's indicating these are big life changes. Like, it's not like little things where you maybe got like, I don't know, accomplished something temporary. So like, let's say something like employee of the month, where that's temporary for that month. It's something big where, like, compared to that, a promotion. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying you are going to get a promotion, but what I'm saying is a promotion is more like long term, whereas employee of the month is more like a temporary reward for your efforts. So that's what I'm meaning. So instead of temporary rewards this year, you're going to get like permanent rewards that kind of really transform the way your life heads, basically. Okay, great. So let's move on. Okay, so I'm pulling cards for your love life. I already know what this card is, so I'm just saying before I even turn it over, you've got a very exciting love life ahead of you in January. Okay, so what is happening for pile 1 in their love life? Okay. So let's take a look at your tarot cards. So you have the Queen of Crystals, you have the Page of Cups in reverse, and you also have the Two of Diamonds as well. I'm just going to put that there. Okay. So straight away, your love life, there's going to be a lot of physical interactions with people, a lot of X-rated activities, potentially. So I can definitely see, even if that's not happening for you, your love life is picking up, because this is like such a strong message. I feel like it's definitely picking up for you. Even if it's not picking up in like the 3D, it could be in like the 2D. So that would be like dreams and imagination and things like that. I'm also seeing if you do end up having physical encounters with people, they're not like permanent situations. This, because the Queen of Crystals can have like underlying messages of like passion, like aggressiveness with how like determined you are to get this thing, not in like a weird way. And then also like a lack of emotions connected to it. So like kind of like just flings, really, is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. But if you do end up having like physical connections with people, it's not one of those things where you're like, let's rush to the end and kind of just get to the end goal of this situation. It's one of those things where like you both care about the other person's experience of the night, and so there will be a lot of like attentiveness and effort. So despite that kind of like passion and like go 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 kind of energy, it is also very like a safe space, of course, but also very like sensual and considerate, I would say. Like there's a lot of empathy to each other's experience, if that makes sense. And with the Page of Cups in reverse, this is just really solidifying home, like, because in reverse it gives like lust. It has like temporary like vibes and lust. So really, really strongly I am getting like one night stands or like hookups or just like meetups with people in January. This is just what the cards are predicting, by the way. Don't take this reading and then go, right, well, because the cards have said that, I'm going to go out and do that. Do not do anything you don't want to do. Only if you were like already planning on doing that, or only if you find yourself wanting to do that, then, you know, that's up to you. But like, please don't take the advice of the cards as like things you absolutely have to do. You only have to do what you want to do, you know? Don't take this as like you must. It's just that it's saying this is a potential and a possibility for January. But I do think as well there could be a sense of like, you know what this is. You're like, hey, this is a temporary thing. We're just here for some fun. But this person might feel like they have to convince you that this is a love situation in order to like get you. But then also it might be a thing of theirs where they enjoy sort of convincing someone that they're more serious about them than they are, and then kind of ripping the rug out from under them. So be cautious of those people who try and sort of like sell you a lie and also don't take you seriously when you're like, no, I'm like down for this. Because like if they kind of undermine that and they're like, yeah, sure, no, you definitely want a relationship or something, just don't waste your time with those people who like don't listen to you or take you seriously and who try and deceive you as well. And with the Two of Diamonds in reverse, I'm really strongly getting that an element of like the love pile is also, it can be any type of love, and you are being urged to also love yourself. So if you've been overworking yourself a bit too much, taking on too many like projects at work, or, you know, trying to get projects done before the holidays and things like that, or trying to catch up if you're watching this in the new year, remember to take some time for yourself. It's okay to set workplace boundaries and not answer the phone after your work hours. Like once the work hours are over, it's done. That's your time. You know, no one's paying you for that time. That is your time to claim back. And, you know, put on slippers, put on PJs, sit on the sofa, have like a chai latte or a little tea or coffee or something. Watch a movie, play with your pets, especially because I'm seeing like lions and cats. You know, take care of yourself. Like indulge. And it can also be in terms of these situations as well. Like, remember to put yourself first. You're not there to fulfill someone else's fantasy. You're there for yourself. And yeah, you have to have a level of like care and concern and empathy for the other person involved, but don't think you have to do things just to like fulfill their fantasy of you. It's also about you. And your fantasy. So make sure you're considered and you consider yourself. And if there's anything you don't want to do, just leave it. And then also take care of yourself in terms of like self-care as well, essentially. So love yourself and do that in all the kinds of ways you can think of is the message for January. Okay, so let's take a look at your career. Ooh, the ladybug and sweet pea with happiness. But everything's turning up turning up pile 1. Alrighty. Ooh, straight away we've got some messages there, so let's check these out. So you have, you have the Queen of Winter, you have the Empty Cottage in reverse, and you've also got the Four of Spring in reverse as well. So straight away I will say things are going really, really well for you in terms of your career in January, because there's so much happiness surrounding your career. If you were or are in a kind of trapped situation, that could be your job. It could also, like the actual company you're with or the job role you're in. Maybe you don't feel like you have the qualifications to go into what it is you want, or maybe the job is just terrible and you feel a bit trapped by it. Maybe that is, a team, like the actual team doesn't vibe well with you, and so you're feeling a little bit stuck because of that, or stuck in terms of knowing how to navigate, like, a raise increase, anything like that where you're maybe you're just feeling a little bit stuck, or you're gonna get out of that situation for sure, because we have the Empty Cottage in reverse, and that is about a trapped, stuck situation where you're kind of stuck in that cottage, things aren't moving, things aren't going anywhere, but it's reversed, meaning like the door is open and you're coming out of that cottage. So you're leaving a stuck situation in your work life, whatever that may be. And so that could be you figuring out how to get that raise increase and negotiate and go and have that meeting. It could be you figuring out how to get along with your co-workers. It could be you figuring out how to step into a new career and get the qualifications you want, or step into a brand new company that you feel comfortable in. So whatever that stuck situation is, you're getting out of it, but you're really adaptable to it as well. You're going to be getting like acknowledged as well. So like, say if you really knuckled under during December and you basically carried the company through like the last sort of weeks of the year, when you come back, people are going to be like, hey, who managed to get all these projects over the line, and who actually stayed back and did this, or who did that? And they're going to figure out it's you and be like, well done for that. Like, you're going to get the recognition you deserve for the hard work you've been putting in. There's also a level of like celebration with this card, same with the Ladybug and Sweet Pea. And I think with it being in reverse, it's just coming through more strongly that you are going to get sort of congratulated and celebrated as well for everything you kind of put into your job. I feel like if you've done any sort of hard work recently, that's going to be paid off with less hard work, more like gentle, relaxing, flexible work, where maybe you're like, hey, since I've proved myself to be trustworthy, maybe I could work from home 2 days a week or 3 days a week or whatever, or maybe I could be trusted to have my own team, and then you can start delegating pieces of work as well, and lightening your workload, still while considering others. So it's like things like that, like you're going to be having a more flexible time at work as well, a more flexible schedule. And with the Queen of Winter, this is all about luck, which I find really interesting, because to me, even though ladybugs definitely do represent happiness, to me personally, they do also represent good luck. So you're getting good luck twice, like loads of good luck energy. So your luck is turning around. If you were feeling down in your luck, don't worry, bitch, it's picking up. It's picking up in your career for sure. Things are going to be going really well. You're going to be feeling really secure, really successful, because of this thing resolving itself. You can feel so much better, and you're really like stepping into your role. You're feeling much more confident. You're kind of fitting in well. You're kind of slowly starting to adapt to your environment and feel much more comfortable and confident in that role. And you're really showing that, like, you're radiating this energy where people are noticing and they're like, hey, they're starting to notice who you are, what your role is, and how you actually really help things kind of go along. You're starting to make a bigger name for yourself in your company, essentially, and you're starting to get along with everyone and put yourself out there and feel much more confident, which makes you feel good as well. And I think that security is building because of how you're being, how you're radiating this energy. It's your behavior and how you're presenting yourself, and everything you kind of do is making you feel more secure, because the more noticed you are and congratulated you are, the more you're like, yeah, I'm right for this role, and this role's really good for me, and I'm doing really well in it. And you know for sure, like, you feel quite safe and secured in this role. You're going to be very happy, very content with your situation, with your career situation in January. Okay, so let's take a look. No, it's not those. I wasn't feeling those. But let's take a look at your side hustles. Or side hustle. Or any sort of projects you're working on in the secret, in the background. Okay, so let's see. I felt these two. I felt all of them. Sometimes I only want one, but I just have to go with what I'm feeling. So you got love, action, and feelings for your oracle cards. Oh, there's a secret fourth one here called truth that I didn't see. So you've got truth as well. For your tarot cards, you have the moon. Oh my god, that's amazing. Okay. You also have temperance in reverse. Ooh. You also have the Knight of Swords. I was confused there for a second because I was like, is that king or knight? But I think it's knight. And then you also have the Ace of Swords, both in reverse. Okay, interesting. So you're definitely going to love what you're doing. You're going to love every ounce of energy and effort you put into this hobby. You're going to be walking towards it, putting more effort in. And as you can see, as the stairs go up, it leads to this nice sunset with a big sun kind of peeking up behind the clouds. So that, and there's rain on the outside here. So even though it's a struggle, because it's like, oh gosh, you're climbing up these stairs, your legs hurt, you're panting, it's raining, which makes it worse. On the other side waiting for you is this sunshiny energy, and the sun is all about success. So you're really going to love the outcome of everything you kind of work into it. Every effort you put into it is going to reap a really good benefit. There's also feelings here. So this project, this sort of side hustle or thing, just a hobby that you're interested in really, is something you're really emotionally invested in. It's something you care about a lot. You really want to see it come to fruition, and don't worry, because it will. There will be success here, but it's something that really matters to you. And because of her star earrings and the stars in the background, it is giving wish fulfillment. So I do feel like this is something you've wished for, you've hoped for, and it is coming true for you because of that wish fulfillment there. But there's some sort of truth that you have to acknowledge as well. And obviously you've got the Knight of Swords over here in reverse, which can have the energy of because you care about something so much, you really want to excel in it first. You want to understand it, you want to be educated in it and really know what you're doing before you actually apply yourself. But in doing that, you might be holding yourself back, especially with the action card. It's telling you to apply yourself, to do it, to take action. So even though you might want to know everything about it to make sure you're going to deliver the best quality work you possibly can, sometimes the best thing to do and the best way to learn is to do it. Just do it, see how it goes, and you'll learn from your mistakes naturally. So you're definitely being urged to kind of take that action and trust yourself. But with the Ace of Swords, it's like, don't throw yourself into everything, kind of try little bits here and there. So try little aspects of it and throw yourself into aspects of it. On top of that, you kind of need to establish what your goal actually is. So sometimes like we do something literally because we just want to and it's fun and we enjoy it, And even though that's fantastic, because that's the best way to kind of have longevity, it's also important to establish why you're doing it and the purpose behind it, because especially if your thing requires a niche or an audience, or purchases and sales from, customers or something like that, they need to know what the goal is here. Because, like, let's say you don't really know what the goal is, but deep down inside the goal is to get your name out there, then you're not going to focus on the brand necessarily, because you don't know that that's what you're looking for. Or if it's to increase sales, you're not going to focus on marketing because you don't realize that's your goal and that's what you need to put out there. So if you don't know that, your customer or your, viewership or whoever, they're not going to know that, because you're not presenting them with the information that they kind of need. And they have to know that in order to connect with the thing that you're doing. But with this love card as well, looking at all these people, I feel like there definitely is success. And when you do figure that out and when you do apply yourself, there's all these people who are going to be supporting you, rooting for you. They're going to have so much positivity and kindness towards you. I think you might be worried as well about the rejection, about people maybe not liking whatever this product is, but they definitely will. You will have a niche who absolutely love everything you're putting out there. Also, you're kind of being told to clear out when it comes to your hobby as well. Your hobby is being affected by something in your personal life, with the Temperance card in reverse. Sometimes when we go through like difficult things, there are certain behaviors or mindsets you employ to protect yourself during that time. But when that time's been and gone and you're no longer enduring that difficult time, you no longer need to have that behavior or mindset, but because you've done it for so long, that behavior or mindset lingers. And now in this healed version of yourself, in this grown version of yourself, it's actually draining your resources and holding you back. So it can be things like imagination, like maladaptive daydreaming can be something. I mean, it can be something that anyone does for any number of reasons. There are several reasons. But it can also be something where you use it as an escapism from your surrounding. But now that you no longer need an escapism because your surrounding's quite nice and enjoyable, you're still trapped in that behavior of maladaptive daydreaming because you've come to depend on it. Now, don't get me wrong, maladaptive daydreaming is not a bad thing. It can be really fantastic for your creativity. But, if you employed it as an escapism and you're still using it when you no longer need to escape, it can actually be taking you away from the things you could be doing in your day-to-day, like your hobbies and things. So it's about addressing maybe like things like that to make sure that it's not holding you back. And that might be a harsh truth that you kind of have to acknowledge. But I'm going to gently deliver it to you. But it do be a truth. And with the moon, I always love this card because it's always about like dreaminess, mysteriousness. Like, you may not always know what's gonna lie ahead in your path, but keep dreaming and keep aspiring and imagining, because that's the best way to sort of manifest it. And then your dreams can come true. So it's kind of just about like going with the flow and investing yourself into it and immersing yourself into it to see where it goes. But as well with the moon, it can also be like, obviously you've got the one half of the moon, which is like bright and honest and open and truthful, and then you've got this kind of hidden part that has a lot of secrets and mysteries, and that can represent inner fears and anxieties that you're kind of maybe being driven by, or that are potentially holding you back from going after what it is you truly want, because you're scared of rejection, of getting your feelings hurt, of realizing that maybe this thing isn't going to work, and that scares you. But those are just fears and anxieties. It's not the truth. So you have to, with the moon card, it's literally like, please go after it. Keep investing in yourself. The best way to invest in yourself is to believe you can achieve what it is you want, to keep dreaming, imagining, fantasizing. So keep investing in yourself, and that also includes your hobbies and your side hustles and projects that are important to you, that matter to you. Keep taking action towards those, and don't let your fears and anxieties dictate the outcome, because if you are led by your fears and anxieties, then you're not going to get the thing you want. But if you're able to put those aside for a second, even just a second each day, to get up and do the thing, then you're living more truthfully and honestly to like who you actually are. And then you might actually get the truth revealed as to whether or not this thing can come true. At least if you're led by your hopes and your dreams, there's a what if, there's a mystery. But if you're led by your fears and anxieties, there's no mystery there. you know the outcome, what the outcome will be. So yeah, trust yourself, trust your gut, and believe in yourself and your dreams, and invest in yourself. Okay, so okay, so now we're moving on to the second from last part of your reading, which is where I will answer any 3 of your yes or no questions pertaining to the month of January. So if you have a question in your head, maybe it's about anything I've brought up here and you're like, is it this hobby that you were talking about, or is it, this career path that you were talking about, anything you want to ask like that, go ahead and ask it either in your head or out loud, and I will try my best to answer those for you now using these prediction cards. So go ahead and ask question 1 now, and I will reveal the answer to you. No. So go ahead and ask question 2, and I will reveal the answer to you. Choose a new direction. Go ahead and ask question 3, and I will answer that for you now. Listen to your intuition. Yeah, that's a really strong message of the moon card, which you had twice in your reading, by the way. So that is coming through strongly, and there's a moon in this eye here, there's a moon here, really, really strongly. You're getting trust your intuition, and even on their head as well. So you're getting trust your intuition, believe in your dreams, and go after what it is you want. You might not realize what it is yet, especially because we had choose a new direction. So it might be that you think it's one thing, but it's actually going to be another thing that is going to lead to your success, especially for the month of Jan. But yeah, so that was it for you, pile 1, in terms of those questions. Just remember, if you were disappointed with anything here, you do not have to take it, only take what resonates. But also, we do this every month. So if in February, you're wondering, do these same questions still answer the same way? Check out February's one and see, because it might change by that month. Fate and your destiny is always changing. So okay, so the last thing I wanted to do was get your angel number, and the way that I'm getting your angel number is by your significator card. So you have the number 8 at the top here, so that is what we're going to look up in my grimoire. Okay, so this is your message for number 8. Release your fears and conquer your weaknesses to avoid being taught old lessons. That was literally the crux of your reading right there at the end. So yeah, definitely try and work on those fears you have and be strong. You had the strength card, so go and be strong and conquer those fears. And strength isn't about ignoring those fears or completely obliterating them. It's about balance and working with them. Yeah, they're there, but they're not going to hold you back. So yeah, that was your, I know that's easier said than done though. So that was your reading pile 1. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like, comment if you enjoyed it and what you'd like to see from me, and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you have subscribed, I thank you. So yeah, if you were drawn to any other piles at the beginning of this reading, please go ahead and check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another tarot reading or tarot related video on TìandTarot. Bye. Hello and welcome to your reading. So you chose this little lavender bunny tail, which is so cute. Who put that there? It was me. Okay, anyways, so we're gonna move that and put the lavender bunny tail there. Let me get this out the way. Okay, so let's take a look at your significator card. So you have gratitude, thankful, appreciation, and kind. So this is all about your January month. So this is your general personal life reading. So yeah, you're going to be feeling a lot more grateful for the life you have for some reason. It could be because of the kindness people are showing you, or because of the kindness you're seeing around in the world. If you can see any at the minute. I know it's hard to, but or it's even the kind acts you're doing are making you feel really grateful and appreciative of what you have and what's around you. So let's take a look at your cards. Let's see what's going to happen in your general personal life for January. Is it these? Let's see. And let's do this. Get you an oracle card. Okay. Ooh, you're learning something straight away. just because of your what's it called? What are these called? Oracle cards. Just because of your oracle card and that top tarot card, I'm getting that you're learning something new. And this thing you're learning, you're trying to do it because you're headed towards a financial goal that you have in mind. But unintentionally, I think it is going to lead to a blossoming in your love life. So whatever this investment is that you're kind of going in towards, you've basically got two incredibly love-focused cards. So it could be that this is something you really, really love doing, whatever it is that you're working on and moving towards. You're kind of turning a new page in your life. You're starting a brand new chapter. It could be that you're going to study something that you were interested in, or maybe you're going into a career that you're interested in, or you're trying to figure something out. It could be even a side hustle or a hobby. And you're investing a lot of effort and time into it because you have to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. So you're going to be literally sowing your success. Like you're literally going to be investing, like planting the seeds, helping them grow, watering the plants until you've got this lavish garden. And unintentionally along the way, or intentionally, I don't know, but you've got the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups. So you're going to end up loving what you're doing, feeling a massive amount of love, full emotions. You're going to be feeling really emotionally secure this year, especially in January. And that's going to open you up to inviting connections in as well, because you're feeling so fulfilled within yourself and like you don't have any sort of gaps in your life you need to fill. That's exactly why and when love comes in, because obviously it would be quite toxic and like not a good habit to bring someone into your life just to fill some sort of void or gap, because then that means inevitably if you ever split for whatever reason or don't work out, you're going to fill that void. And on top of that as well, if you don't split and you're trying to cling on to this relationship that you don't enjoy anymore just to make sure that void is filled, then that's not a good situation. But that is the absolute opposite of what you're doing, because you're going to feel really solid and secure and well-rounded, like wholesome. You're going to feel whole. You're going to feel complete, which is exactly what creates this environment for this person to come in, which is really lovely. And it's all happening for some reason because of this thing you're starting, and it's like a dream of yours, a goal of yours. Go after it because it's leading you down the right path. Okay. So these are all about your love life now. Is there any others? I think it's just those two. I pulled out a final one in the middle there. It was just kind of calling to me. Okay, you've got two there as well. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards. So you have the Four of Cups in reverse. You have the Seven of Diamonds upright. And you also have the Knight of Diamonds in reverse as well. And then let's take a look at your oracle cards. So if I shimmy those up a little bit, you also have these two here, which is Lost and Insects. So I'm getting two different messages for two different types of people. So if you're someone who has kind of been, I mean, for both of you, I will say for both types of people that I'm going to be talking about, I do feel like if you've, sorry, my ashy elbow in there. If you've kind of had missed opportunities in love, things that you've regretted where you're like, oh, why didn't I tell them I liked them, or why didn't I say yes, or whatever it was, you've had missed opportunities where you really beat yourself up about it and you really shouldn't have. So long as you can learn from it, because there are things to learn from these situations. They might, when you look back on them, you might cringe and be like, oh God, why did I do that? And it can feel really uncomfortable. But there's actual lessons to learn from these situations. So if you feel a lot of regret, that's good, because it shows that one, you've grown, and two, you're ready, you've identified what the issue is and you're ready to change it. So if you're someone who's missed a lot of opportunities in love, but you still want to put yourself out there and meet people and things like that, then this is kind of saying take responsibility for that feeling. If you still like the idea of love and you'd still like to be in a relationship, then take responsibility of those things that you've sort of regretted in the past and move forward with the intention to be different. So be more confident and go after the opportunities that you want. Go after the people you want and try and, genuinely let them know how you're feeling instead of kind of staring at them as hard as you possibly can, waiting for them to notice. Like, don't do things like that, but actually put yourself out there. And that might help you achieve what you want. But as we saw with your first pile, it was kind of saying focus on other things and it will kind of just come to you effortlessly anyway. Maybe one of your issues is you were trying too hard and that was almost pushing people away, like going after people too often, too much, to the point that it was coming across like you just want anybody and you don't really care who it is. But for others of you, you might have been sort of hard done by in love by other people. So you've just had people not be great towards you. You've witnessed people be horrible to others in relationships around you. For people you care about, you've seen them be treated poorly in their relationships and their connections. And you're kind of wondering if love even is for you. If you're feeling all of this, like, emotion of like, I don't want love anymore, I'm not feeling it, I'm not vibing with it, I'm hopeful that there's a good thing out there, but I don't think there is. And if you're constantly getting hurt where like people just aren't respecting you when you get into relationships, they're not treating you kindly, they're not treating you with like appreciation and gratitude, and if you see people you love going into relationships like that where people are unkind to them and unappreciative, the best way, like, what I'm kind of, obviously do what feels right for you, but I'm kind of getting a cut yourself off from it, then pull back, like, don't do it. If love is stressing you out this much and it shouldn't be this stressful because of the way people are treating you, like, it's not your fault, but because of the options out there, because of the way people are treating you or people around you, you can take yourself out of the game. Like, you ain't got to play. Like, you don't have to, have yourself out there as an option. And you'll find when you do that you're no longer lost and stressing and worried. You're no longer uncomfortable. You've learned, if a situation's making me unhappy, why am I participating in it? So you're going to pull yourself out of that, and then it's going to make you feel so much more grateful, appreciative of life, because finally, instead of being surrounded by people who treat you like shit, who are unkind to you and ungrateful, you're going to be treating yourself with kindness and gratitude and appreciation by putting yourself first, by taking yourself away from these situations. Instead of looking for love, you're just going to be like cutting yourself off, literally. So if, people want to go out with you, sorry, you're not available. Like, you're just not dating at the minute, and that's fine. Or ever, and that's fine. Like, you're taking yourself out of it, and that is healing a lot of the misery you were kind of feeling before, because it was really affecting you. So to take yourself out of it and be like, you know what, I'm not even doing this anymore, I'm actually just going to enjoy my life and focus on me, it's going to make you feel 1,000 times better and really flourish. That's kind of what I'm seeing. If that's something you decide to do, it will make you feel 1,000 times better. But if you're someone who is like more so feeling regret, not necessarily because you've had experienced bad things, but because you're like, oh, I wish I'd told them I liked them or something like that, then for you, the kind of message is to kind of focus on your other projects and see what kind of comes to you naturally through that, but also be more confident next time, and tell someone you like them when you do. You can't change the past, but you can change how you approach the future. So, let's take a look at your career cards next. So, ooh, that one like kind of flew out and then popped back in. Any others, or is that it? Two more. A fifth. And let's take an oracle card for you as well for your career. You got 3. The way I said that, like, you've got a 5th, you've got 3, just for some reason was making me feel like you're going to expect something in January, like you're going to expect some sort of reward in some kind of way, and it's actually going to be bigger and more than you thought. So that is just a quick message for some of you. So we have hope in reverse with the butterfly and snowdrops. You have balance in reverse with the dragonfly and pansy. Reading those upside down, so struggled a little bit there. And then you also have the squirrel and chestnut with preparation. Ooh, okay. Then we also have the Queen of Spring. Love that card. The Two of Winter. The King of Winter. The Nine of Spring. And the King of Autumn. Wow. Queen, Knight, Knight. Oh, sorry, the Knight of Autumn. Wow. Really big energies. So for some of you, I'm getting a message straight away that you're not having a great work-life balance, which is kind of making you feel a little bit down. And you're either preparing to like do a lot of work so that you can take a lot of time off to kind of give yourself a balance by doing a lot of work in one period of time and then a lot in another. Or you're potentially preparing to change job or change career because you're like, right, this just doesn't work for me in some kind of way. And you're definitely achieving a lot. You're conquering something for sure in this month. And these are conquers. So definitely conquering something. You've got like an erratic energy of like, oh my god, I gotta get things done and I gotta do stuff. Like you're gonna be very squirrely for your career for January. I'm also noticing like so many blue colours. I know there is purple here, but these two are blue, those are blue. She's got blue purpley flowers in her hair. Lots of blue colours. I don't know really what colours mean, but for me, I would say whenever you get a mood ring, it's always like when it's blue, it's like happiness. But then blue can also be sadness. So maybe it's like a mix of both. Sometimes you enjoy your work, sometimes you don't. There might be someone around you. I like how these two suns are kind of aligning. Something needs to collaborate to bring success into your life. And it could be like a collaboration of ideas, feelings, thoughts, but something needs to happen to bring those two things together. Something needs to change. Like, see if I reverse this and put those two suns together. Like, something needs to change or connect in order for your work to feel more balanced and flowy and harmonious. But someone might be making you feel a little bit worthless or like what you do isn't valuable or helpful in any kind of way, which definitely is not true, especially with the squirrel. We can see clearly through the cards how much work and effort you put into your job and how much you actually are needed. But someone might be making you feel that way, which can really affect your mindset and make you feel all these types of feelings. And this might not be somebody else. It could even be you. It could be the way that you talk to yourself or think about yourself. But with this card, it's like kind of through the kindness of others and also the kind actions you partake in. It's so funny that you got this card because of the gratitude card that you got that has kindness, thankfulness, and appreciation, because that is literally what this is all about. It's like generosity, giving, kindness. So it's so crazy that you got that. So someone could be giving you a helping hand, basically, or potentially it's you, like you're going around being kind and generous and thoughtful to others, which is kind of building up this support around you and these people that care about you too and want to be kind back, which is then creating like a cycle of joy. I really feel like it's you. I feel like you're transforming your mindset. Not that you're like, I feel like you yourself are probably a really kind person, especially with everything we've got here. And you had insects in your first pile, and then you've got insects here again. So there's a really important lesson about not picking on the little person. Like, don't pick on I feel like you're the underdog, you're unsuspecting. So people might see you as, like here, like they might see you as something small and easy to kind of squish. But actually, the bugs are really resilient. Like they have great migration skills. They can reproduce like crazy. You might kill one, today, but there will be another fly in your house tomorrow. They have a sting if, a lot of them have a sting if you want to kind of try and mess with them. And they're seen as these really gentle, loving things, but they've definitely got a kick to them if you kind of threaten them. So I feel like that's you, and some people treat bugs with so much kindness and gentleness, and other people don't. Other people are like, oh, that means nothing to me, it's worthless, and they squish it, you know? So it's like you're going to have a mix of kind people around you who are nurturing and gentle with you, and then also people around you who are like, that person, I don't care, like I can get rid of them in a second. Like people pulling a power move on you, people trying to one up you or have a hold over you, like a shitty higher up all the way up in your company. So you're kind of going to be tackling them with your kindness. So you're going to be so kind to others that they're like, what, this person? Ain't no way that they're doing the things you're saying, because they might try and slander you or slag you off to people and they're like, no, that person's fantastic. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. So in you being your true kind self, you're literally making them powerless, because what can they do if everyone loves you, you know? You're going to be like imparting some wisdom on people as well, like actually helping them with things. If they've got projects they need help with or anything like that, you'll actually help them instead of just doing what most people do, which is say they'll help and then don't. So that's why people are really appreciating you, is because you actually do the things you say you're going to do and you actually do help. I feel like with preparation, that's a sense of feeling really uncertain, really unstable, and like feeling quite threatened in your situation, maybe because of this card. But obviously with this card, you're fighting fire with water, like you're extinguishing their negativity. But with the Two of Winter, it's kind of like decision time and flexibility. So things are changing, like things are fully going to change for you. So even though it feels that way now, in January, I feel like things are going to completely turn around and you might not even see it coming, because it's like you've kind of been building people's appreciation for you over time without even realizing it. And that has actually landed you a lot of protection and flexibility and change. Like all these feelings that you're feeling, sort of hopelessness, lack of balance, it is changing on its head. You're getting that flexibility, you're getting that balance, and you're getting that hopeful feeling again, that you're really going to enjoy where you are again. If there is any sort of upheaval, like in terms of like a new job, it will be very short-lived. So let's say you've decided you're going to get another job and you've put, you know, you've applied, they've accepted you, and you start next week. There's going to be that short week in between, and then you're going to get straight into it, and it's going to go really well if some of you are planning on leaving. I'm not urging you to. I'm just saying that some of you might already have that in the works. So if that is going to happen, I just want to let you know it's not going to be like too long before you're settled in and you feel good. The thing is, you're such a creative person with so many fantastic ideas that realistically, you could really excel somewhere where you're appreciated, where people are grateful to have you. You could really, really flourish. So that might be where you're at. So long as it's just this sort of one person that's annoying. But it could be at a different place. But you are gonna really, really flourish because of that creativity, those ideas. You would be a fantastic leader. Like, people underestimate you, and you might have a tendency to internalize that, but don't, because as we saw with your first pile, with all those books and getting busy and focusing, you are a leader. You're someone who's a go-getter, who takes action. So don't let people kind of get into your head about who you know yourself to be, because you know that that's not true. You like bugs as well, insects, they have a tendency to be busybodies. You know, they're always flapping their wings, always fluttering. You never see a resting bug. They're always on the move. So you are a really fantastic leader. Don't let anyone convince you you're not, and that you're not good at your job. And this sort of, it's either the new attitude you have in your own mind of being kind towards yourself, or it could be this new sort of temporary upheaval, new position, or the newfound respect you're finding yourself having. But all of these negative ideas in your mind are slowly starting to dwindle, and you're seeing yourself in a much more confident, kind way. And you're releasing some of those negative tasks. So where you're feeling really busy and like everyone's just throwing work at you, or you're having to do a lot of work to prove yourself, you're gonna find yourself feeling so much more flexible and freed up, and you're gonna be enjoying yourself more. There's gonna be like little daily pleasures that you really appreciate, like something as simple as like getting to make yourself a coffee or getting a work from home day. Like small things like that you're really gonna love. Okay, so let's take a look at your side hustle or hobbies or any sort of projects that you're working on that, you know, need to come out for January. So let's see. Yeah, I'm not surprised that you have this friend card here, because I feel like you're someone who is orientated about connections with people. Not necessarily like romantic ones, but just in general, connecting with people. That's something that's important to you. I was kind of getting that as an underlying message from all of your cards. So you have friend, decision, invitation, and surrender. You have the King of Coins. You have the Queen of Wands. You've had so many King-Queen energies. Like, you are a very, valuable person. Even if people don't realize it, you are. And then you also have the Six of Wands in reverse as well. So it could be that your hobby, or the thing that you're, not necessarily a hobby, but something that preoccupies your time, your efforts, your energy, your mind, other than work and love life and personal life, can also be connecting with people and making friendships. And I feel like you close yourself off by being not so confident in yourself. But actually, I feel like the vibe I'm getting here is you feel like you come across in a negative way, like people don't like you, or they're just being nice to you for the sake of it, when actually they really do like you and really do want to get to know you, and those ideas are holding you back. So I get this vibe that everyone actually feels really comfortable around you, but you think you make people uncomfortable. So I feel like there will be opportunities to meet people and hang out with them. And you kind of have to make a decision of putting your fears and your insecurities and anxieties aside in order to go and actually enjoy yourself. There's also wish fulfillment here. So if you've been wishing for a friend group or something like that, it is definitely coming in for you next year. On top of that, if you do have an actual side hustle, like hobby, something that you're working on like that, like, I don't know, writing a book or like running a marathon or something like that, you will need to kind of find a balance between your social life and this. And remember, your social life is just as important. It's not that one is more important than the other. Invest as much time into both as you are able to without burning out and doing too much. There is also messages on the back. So stop trying to control life. It gets in the way of divine intervention. Yeah, go with the flow. You saying no is controlling that situation. You saying yes is keeping it open. Be as good a friend to yourself as you are to others. Yeah, so when we have this like kindness, gratitude card, you really need to be gentle and appreciative with yourself as well. Sometimes the best decision is no decision at all. Ooh, okay. And then we've got the words you speak are an invitation to life, a request to bring energy into form. Choose your words carefully. So again, that's coming into play again with the kindness. The things you say out loud about yourself are true. If you out loud say, oh, I'm not good at this, you're manifesting that as truth, because then you're not going to feel good at it. You're telling other people you're not good at it, so they're going to believe you in that. And then you're not going to be good at it. So, like, don't say things about yourself that are untrue and that are mean. Like, for sure, try and be kind to yourself. But on top of that, it's also about this person is speaking calmness, beauty, love, kindness, hope. You've had kindness again. I just find that so crazy that these keep coming up for you. Hope and fun and adventure. So she's speaking all these really lovely things, and this is also about the kindness you show to others, because you are a naturally kind person, but it's also about the things you say to others. Just be your true self and say what comes to mind, because most of the times the thing that is going to pop into your mind is probably a kind thing. So just say it, and then it ends up breeding more kindness. So if you do have like a hobby or side hustle or anything, or even if your side hustle is like friendships and things like that, be really confident. That is essentially the message of the invitation card as well. But be really confident towards what it is and really go after it. Put effort into it. If you want it to come true, you can control that by putting effort in. But then also with the King of Coins here, bitch, if you do have like a side hustle or hobby that you're kind of working on, you're definitely going to succeed in it, and it's going to give you so much financial wealth and like abundance and monetary success. Like, this is something you're going to be really fucking good at, and it's going to reflect that in your bank, okay? But the one thing you have to worry about is, obviously, there's confidence and then there's egotism. And as your wealth starts to increase and you become this person who basically changes overnight into someone who is very successful, like you're growing towards this success and then you sort of reach a new level that you've never reached before, you have to be careful that you don't then get big-headed and start treating people around you like shit. I think that's why the kindness is really coming in strong, because it's like, don't lose that. That is a fundamental part of who you are. And people have a tendency when they get power, which can be found in the form of a lot of money, when they get power, they can then switch up and it kind of turns to egotism without them even realizing. So remember to be your kind, true, grounded self, because ultimately that's the underlying message of a coin card, is to be grounded. So yeah, try and remember that. But there is so much success on the way to you for your side hustle if you've been working on something. Which could also relate back to that first card that we had with all the books, because that was your general life. Okay. So we're now on the second from last part of your reading, where I'm going to try and answer 3 of your yes or no questions pertaining to the month of January. This can be anything. It can be about anything that I've brought up in this reading that maybe you want to ask. But essentially it just relates to January for now. And if you want an update on these questions, you can go ahead and ask them in our next session in February. So go ahead and ask your first question now, and I will reveal the answer to you right now. Go, the time is right. Okay, ask your second question now, and I'll reveal the answer to you now. Unlikely. Okay, ask your third question now. Yes. Ooh. Okay, so just remember, if there was anything in here that you weren't happy with, please only take what resonates, and remember this is just for January, so these are temporary answers as well. Okay, so the final part of the reading is essentially to see what your angel number is. I'm currently flipping through my grimoire because your angel number is on your significator card here. So your angel number is the number 5. So that's what we're going to be looking into. Okay, I can't neaten that up. So you have ask a loved one for help if you're feeling low. Yeah, I feel like you especially really need to hear that, because if you're feeling low about your job, or if anyone's treating you like shit, or if you're treating yourself like shit internally in your mind, and you're just not feeling like in high spirits, especially if socially you're feeling quite isolated or alone, that can really affect how you see yourself and your mood. So definitely reach out to a loved one that you can trust, who's reliable, who you're close to, if you need support. So that was your reading pile 2. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And if you're feeling, and thank you if you have subscribed already, I really appreciate it. And if you're feeling drawn to any other piles in this reading, feel free to go check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another reading or tarot related video on TìandTarot. Bye! Hey, hello my pole frees, welcome to your reading. So you chose this little like yellow dried pollen flower. I don't know what type of flower that is. If you do know, feel free to let me know in the comments. But your significator card is friendship, so confidence, self and soulmate. Ooh, okay, so this new year, what it has in store for you is friendships coming in, you feeling more brave, more confident to create connections in your life, and also potentially inviting a soulmate in. And that can be a friend soulmate, like the friend you were destined to be friends with. It can also be a romantic one, or it could even be like your pet soulmate, like the pet you were supposed to get as a pet, you know? Okay, so let's take a look at your general life for January, starting off with the Good Karma Tarot. Oop. Okay, maybe that one as well. We just had that card as well in pile 2, so if you were drawn to that pile, feel free to check it out. Okay, so let's take a look at your oracle card first. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, so you have My Soul Speaks in Flowers. You also have the Page of Coins and the 8 of Coins and the 2 of Wands. This is so interesting because I'm getting like the vibe of someone being like the difference between someone who is like, I love my job and I really want to keep doing it, versus someone who's like, yeah, I was made to like sniff flowers and like lay down in the sun all day and be on the beach. Like that's the vibe I was getting from this card. But when we get bouquets, a lot of the time the way I interpret that is you getting 2 sort of gifts coming your way. And because you've got the 2 of Wands in reverse, I do see 2 options, 2 pathways, and a gift waiting for you on either end of the pathway. So there might be something in your life right now, starting 2025, where you can't decide which route you want to go down. You don't know which one's going to be more successful. Should you start that hobby or this one? Should you start this side hustle or this one? Should you go for that career or this one? Should you start studying this or that? To be honest, at the end of both pathways is the exact same level of immense success. So it doesn't matter. Like, there doesn't need to be this massive pressure around which one's going to be the best route for me, because so long as you apply yourself to whichever one you pick, which I'm sure you would, because you're so invested already, there will be success waiting for you, especially with the 8 of coins here. So long as you put in the hard work and the effort, you will reap what you sow. So actually, technically, these two sort of options or pathways you might be choosing between, that's not as important as the effort you will put in, because both will be successful for you. That's what I'm getting here. So definitely, if there's something you want to go after, especially monetarily successful, but if there's something you want to go after and you're really torn because you're like, you can only do one because time-wise and, constraints like that, just trust that both of them, whichever one you pick, will work out. Okay. Let's take a look at your love life. That one. Okay, so you've got quite a few cards here. So, firstly, you've got some sort of... Let me put these down here, actually, because they're kind of big. So they're taking up a bit of room. So, you have the 8 of crystals. You have the Queen of Diamonds in reverse. You have the 10 of crystals. You have the 9 of diamonds. And then you've got all of these oracle cards here. So for this first one, you have baby in your love life. That's crazy. Okay. You also have butterfly, hope and happiness, beauties, transformation, and you've also got bathroom. I think some of you are concerned that some of you might really want a baby, some of you watching, and you might be concerned that you're running out of time, which is just such bullshit, by the way. First of all, you can, like, the whole fallacy of, like, specifically women, like, running out of time to have babies, that, like, your biological clock basically ends at 24, 25. Bitch, no the fuck it doesn't. My grandma keep having babies in her 50s, bitch. Okay, so you can definitely still have babies later on. I mean, you've got better odds when you're younger, but, people just say, oh, you can have them when you're 24 because that's it and only then, because your prefrontal lobe hasn't developed yet. So they say that because they're like, yes, you don't even know that you want it quickly. Do it now. Save the economy. And then by the time you've had the baby at 24, you're like, actually, I've just figured out who I am and I think I'm not a baby person. And they're like, oh, well, look at that. It's too late. You've had one now. So yeah, good luck with that. So that's why people say that. So go ahead and ignore that for sure. I was getting that kind of biological clock vibe because of this card here. And it also talks about things needing to be released. So kind of that stress over your love life working out and things going the way you want it. You might have to release some of the ideas you had or expectations you had, or potentially release the stress that you're putting on yourself in terms of this situation as well. So you're kind of going through a transformation period in your love life for January, where you're recognizing that holding on to certain things to the point that it's detrimenting your health or making you stressed isn't necessarily worth it for you. And so you're kind of transcending to be someone completely different. You're turning from that, caterpillar into a butterfly. Like, you're letting yourself be free instead of stuck on the ground, moving really slowly, not really getting anywhere. You're allowing yourself to be free and fly where you want. And that actually ends up helping you with your love anyway. And I feel a sense of prioritization of friendships over romantic connections now anyway. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from these cards. And I feel like when you kind of free yourself of all the stress of panicking about when will things work out for me, exactly when you free yourself and you become this flying butterfly, that's exactly what helps you achieve it, because now you're limitless. So it actually helps you achieve the goals you want by letting go of the stress around it. And you're like, you know what, it will happen when it happens for me. And then by doing that, it kind of does just kind of miraculously turn up because you've decided to let go and be free. And so I do see success in your love life. Whatever it is you're looking for, if that's friendships, romantic love, self-love, there is success there. You will find it. So if you've been on a journey to really treat yourself kindly and love yourself, you will reach that point. And the same goes for all other types of connections as well. With the Queen of Diamonds, there's an underlying message of like being in reverse, of being aware of the prices you pay for the things you want. So sometimes you might have a really lofty goal that might even require you investing money into it for some reason, in which case you may need lawyers involved. So it could be like if you really want marriage, you might need prenups. Or, you know, something along those lines. If you want a certain outcome and you're not willing to settle for anything else, don't just go off the backs of people's kindness. While it would be lovely to believe all people are kind and have good intentions, that might not always be true. So make sure you've got contracts in place to protect yourself in these scenarios as well. If there's anything you're trying to manifest in your love life or make come true, if like maybe for example you really want to be a parent but you're single or something, and so you're weighing out your options, make sure you've really thought about it and that you're willing to pay the price for it, essentially. Both metaphorically and not. By the way, if this doesn't vibe with you guys, I'd say head on over to pile 2. We weren't so baby focused in that one, but because you had the same card as well. So I think pile 2, if you're not vibing with this, head on over to pile 2. Yeah, especially with like the 10 of crystals, you really are stifling yourself with some of these stresses that you're carrying. You need to lighten your load and fly free, especially with the bird here as well. Yeah, you've got 2 birds, a butterfly, definitely a lot of flight, a lot of wings coming in for you. So yeah, you need to free yourself of the stress of this. If you are somebody who has quite a successful financial life, like money is no object, and maybe you've got a lot of free time on your hands, that can create an environment where you are kind of focused on things you don't have yet. And the things you might not have is relationships, like friendships, partners, babies, things that you might want. I'm not saying everyone wants that, but you might want that. And because you have all this free time and you're financially stable, so you're not worried about that, your mind automatically goes to what you don't have. Like someone who has like no money is going to be likely very focused on that, whereas someone who has money but has no connections is going to be more focused on the connections. In your love life for January, I do see you pouring back into yourself. That's why we've got the butterfly, the birds, all this transformation. And as well with the 9 of diamonds, there's a message of like bird watching, like watch the birds, watch the world go by. You're turning your attention from things you can't control to being like more go with the flow kind of thing. Watching the birds as they fly through the sky, like you can't control those things, but you're just watching it. You're turning your attention to yourself because you are this butterfly, this bird transforming. So you're focusing on yourself. So instead of stressing about connections you do or don't have, you're going to be focusing more on like taking care of yourself, curling up on the sofa, putting on fuzzy socks, having like a nice latte or tea, watching a nice movie, maybe sitting down and doing like a little hobby or something that you're interested in, like maybe writing a book or something, because I know everyone has like a goal like that. So it could be something like that, but I definitely see yourself caring about yourself more, lightening your load with stressful things, weighing out the pros and cons of situation and whether or not the price to pay for stressing about these things is really worth it, and kind of putting yourself first. So in love, so let's move on to your career. Okay, so let's take a look at your career now. If there are any important messages about your career, they will come up. Oh my goodness. Okay. And we've also got these here, so let's see what comes up for you. Lots of cards here. So let's take a look at your tarot cards first, I think. So you have the Knight of Winter, killing with kindness, bitch. Then we've got the Lovers. Then we've got the Goldfinch. And then we've got the 7 of Spring in reverse. Then we've also got Preparations. Oh, starting over the snake. You've had so many transformation cards. It's really like, this is a very cathartic year for you. Yep. Wow. Okay. I want to say butterflies are your spirit animal this year. You've had too many butterflies for that not to be true. Okay, so I can definitely see your career is something you love. It's something you're really interested in. It might also potentially lead to a connection down the line somewhere with somebody, but more so I'm feeling you love what you do. Even if there are like people, tricky situations, hurdles to get over, you have mastered it because you kill people with kindness. You're very demure, very mindful, and that's how you kind of tackle difficulties at work. You're very well liked. That's the vibe I'm getting. If you're like, nah, bitch, everyone hates me at work, go ahead, head over to part 2. Like, go ahead, head over to part 2, because that would be the reading for you. But with the Goldfinch, so that's essentially the Fool card. You're going to be starting a brand new adventure. There's a lot of luck and happiness and prosperity for you. Especially we also have starting over here, so that's fantastic. As I said, pitfalls and things like that, you can tackle them. You know exactly how to do that. And I think your job might be a little bit like, almost like you're on call to action at all times. So even though you might have a lot of free time, when they call you, you don't have a choice. Like, you've got to go do that, you know? So it feels like you might be in one of those situations where it's very go, go, go. So there might not be a lot of balance, but you're very like prepared for it. Like you're always ready to go. You always have your shit together. So in January, I can see you kind of starting a new adventure in work, turning a new leaf. So there's exciting things and projects for you to get involved in, to take over, to prepare for. Definitely starting anew with all of these imageries here. A complete revamp of something, a complete rebranding. And that's what you're going to kind of be focusing on. And you're going to love it. You're going to have a lot of fun with it. Even if there are difficult people or challenges, you know how to handle it. And I feel like you're really confident in yourself and able to do this. And we do have confidence in your Significator card as well. And the 7 of Spring as well is all about travel, adventure, escape. So it's so crazy to me that you have that plus the Fool card. Because that definitely heavily implies that there is a lot of travel involved in your job as well. Like, and something starting completely brand new for you. So you may be someone who has to fly out to certain places sometimes. Like, you might have one of those jobs where one day you're in Edinburgh and the next day you're in Clapham and the next day, like, you're in Wales. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just constantly on the move when you do have stuff to do. But you're really enjoying it and you really vibe with it. So I feel like in January, your job's going to be really active. You're going to be very mobile. You have a lot of free time, but then a lack of flexibility at the same time and a lack of balance because you almost have to be prepared to kind of rush out the door at any time. You're going to be tackling any difficulties with kindness, with demureness, mindfulness, and you're going to be loving what you're doing as well and transforming, like you're learning brand new things at work. So yeah, that's really lovely for you, pile 3. Okay. So let's take a look at your side hustle, hobbies, if you have any. How's that going? So let's get you some oracle cards. Oh. I'm trying to like intuitively pick because I can see the pictures on the front and I don't want to choose based on the picture, so I'm just trying to go with what I felt. Okay, so let's look at your tarot cards first. So you have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, you've got so much transformation energy because there's a snake there as well. Then you've got the 10 of Swords in reverse. And then you've also got the Hermit. See, it's interesting because I did say the bird and butterfly imagery is you, and the bird is stabbed here. So your side hustle or hobby might be really stressing you out or be something that's kind of pinning you down in a way, and it's kind of making you a little bit jaded towards it, where you're like, this just isn't going to work out and it's stressing you out. You might be feeling a little bit lost with where to go and how to resolve it and how to get it started up again and get it successful. But your clear message is that, of course, with the patience card here, is be patient, especially with the Hermit as well. It's about waiting it out. Like, obviously the Hermit is on the move. They're not just standing there waiting, but like they're following the light slowly, you know? So with patience, it's like, you will get there. Stop trying to make it happen straight away, because that's not how things work. And then with energy, it's about your investment into it. Reevaluating how much time are you actually giving to this thing, because maybe it's not going off the ground because you're not actually being quite active towards it or putting enough attention into it. And also the energy can also be about treating yourself with kindness. If something's stressing you out and you're like, I just don't see a way out of it, and it's even making you a little bit jaded, pull away from it. Give yourself a break. It's implying you're burning out, you know. Spend some time with your pets, spend some time at home. You're very much getting messages of like, be at home curled up on the sofa for Jan. So stop trying to please everyone. Everyone is a whole lot of people. Protect your energy. It is safe to wait. Ooh, there might be moving parts here. So it could be for you, especially with friendship, there could be friends involved in this side hustle or side hobby. It could be like a podcast or something like that, where it requires both of you. And they're like, come on, we got to do the podcast. Like, let's go Friday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. And you're like, I actually have a life. Like, I actually have things I need to do. Yes, I would love to make time for this thing, but not all the time. And it's almost like you're trying to juggle everyone else's happiness on top of your own, and it's like, no, you need to make sure your mask is on first, you know, like your oxygen mask is on first before you put it on anybody else. Like, take care of yourself first and foremost. That doesn't mean don't be considerate or empathetic of others. It means if someone is literally stressing you out and putting you through so much to the point where it's like not making you feel like yourself anymore and you're feeling really down and low about it, then that's a clear sign you cannot handle that and you need to pull away for yourself. It's about protecting yourself and putting yourself first. Like, that project will always be there to work on, and you don't need to make everyone happy at all times. Just be really transparent and really open and communicative, and surely they will understand. So yeah, that's a vibe I was getting here. So we are on to the second from last part of your reading, where I will answer any of your 3 yes or no questions pertaining to the month of January. So go ahead and ask them in your head or out loud. It can be about anything I've brought up in this reading or anything else completely unrelated that you want to ask. And whatever the answer is, only take what resonates. If you don't like it, feel free to ignore it. But remember, all of these answers are temporary because we do this every month. So if you want an update to these questions and you want to ask the same questions next month, then tune in next month in February to get, you know, new answers, because these are just about January. So go ahead and ask your question now, and I will try my best to answer it for you, either in your head or out loud, and I will reveal the answer to question 1 now. Unlikely. Ask question 2 now. No. Ask question 3 now. Yes. Okay, so remember, take what resonates. These are temporary answers, and you can ask again next month. So the last part of your reading is that I want to check out your angel number. So the way I'm determining your angel number this time in the reading is, instead of using the numerology dice, I'm looking at the number on your significator card, and your number is the number 9. So I'm just going to go through my grimoire now and find the number 9 for you and tell you what that is. Love is coming your way. Someone new is entering your life. Ooh, so you did have the Lovers card in your career pile. We did also have the underlying message of when you kind of set yourself free, that's when love kind of comes in for you. So yeah, definitely be open to it. And of course you do have soulmate, confidence, friendship, self. So there is a lot of love for you. That is really exciting for you, pile 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And if you've subscribed already, thank you very much. I appreciate that. If you were drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another reading or tarot related video on TìandTarot. Bye! Okay, hello, welcome pile 4 to your reading. So you chose the more like magenta coloured bunny tail, which is very pretty. I'm going to be putting that there. So let's look at your significator card. So you have adventure, discovery, travel, and the world. Your main thing is that you're going to be traveling, adventuring, and it doesn't even need to be like physical travel. It can also be like astral projection. It can also be like discovering the world through research and things like that if you're like not able to travel for any reason, but for some of you it can also be very physical, like travel, of traveling the world. So we're going to be starting off with your general life cards first. Oh, okay, so you've had a lot of cards here. Let's also get an oracle card for you. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards. So you have the Page of Coins, the Three of Coins in reverse, the Four of Coins. Wow, lots of coin energy. You have the Sun card. You have the Moon card. You have the Strength card. You have the Ten of Swords, the World in reverse, the Ace of Wands, the Emperor, and the Hierophant. You also have Grow Your Own Way and Hang in There. Okay, so I'm getting the vibe straight away that you may do things differently. You may feel very different to people, feel quite unique. And maybe that even makes you feel a little bit left out, but honestly, being your unique self is phenomenal, and it really helps to weed out the people who don't fit in with you and really attract the people who do. The most unique people with the most unique views end up being the most happiest because they end up attracting exactly what they're looking for. So that's also why we've got hang in there. Like, don't feel, you know, too trapped or stuck, because you've got a lot of adventure and opportunities awaiting for you this year. There is so much success around you for this year, especially with the Sun card. We had lots of money cards, just saying. So financially, you might be doing quite well for 2025. And also, I feel like you might be doing quite well in friendships as well, because we have the Three of Coins, which is you kind of working with a group of people, and these are the same people here as well in the Hierophant. So it's giving a friendship. Like, I feel like there's a friend group that you either have or will be a part of, and these are you and them. And it's just three of you really investing a lot of time in helping each other to manifest what you want, achieve what you want. Like, this is them helping you with your thing, and then this is you helping them with theirs. Like, once they've kind of helped you, not that it goes tit for tat, but I feel like, you know, when that's happened, you're more than happy to help them with their stuff too. Like, it just works like a back and forth, like, it not in a transactional way, but in a like a kindness way. Like, you all just kind of help each other in a community kind of way. And while you might be driven to kind of go after everything you kind of want this year, you will need that support and that guidance, because you might not really know how to go about it, and you might not have the resources initially to kind of go for it. So they can really help you with that. Like, you might not have leader energy, but you've definitely got like action taking, and you've got the right attitude, and you really want to work and put effort in. So it's about that as well. You're definitely traveling the world for sure, especially because we got the world card again. But in reverse, it makes me feel like you're definitely going to be celebrating. There is such a strong energy there of that, of you really, like, this year is going to be so busy, but in a good way for you, that it ends up flying by almost, and you very much conquer it. There are definitely some things to watch out for. We'll look into more of what that is. You know, we'll kind of reveal that as the reading goes on. But initially, we're just kind of getting generally in life. There's some things to look out for. It could be people with bad intentions. It could be negative relationships. Things just kind of cropping up that you don't really need in your life. And so long as you use the energy of the Strength card and you identify what that is and kind of push it away, you should do quite well. I see that you're going to have so many creative ideas this year and ways to sort of manifest the things that you want. There's also like an air of mystery here as well around potentially this person, because these both have mysterious energies, both these cards. So there's a bit of mystery about the hurdles you're going to face this year. But when you do face them, the underlying message is to be very mindful, very demure, but definitely your dreams are coming true and you're loving that with the moon and the sun card. The things you want this year are happening for you. So kill them with kindness. That's what I'm kind of getting here. And literally with this card, it's about completely cutting off and ignoring this negativity, this hateful energy or hateful people. Just don't even give them the time of day. Don't let them take your energy, because they're just energy vampires. Like, the truth will be revealed. Let them get their comeuppance on their own. They'll talk so much that they'll end up getting themselves into shit eventually. All you have to do is sit back silently and watch it happen, you know, from afar. Like, you ain't even got to pay attention to them. Just focus on you and your friends and what you're doing, and it should all work out. Okay. That was so many messages for your general life. So you're going to be busy in 2025. Alrighty. So let's take a look at your love life. Let's see if there's any important messages for you there. And that singular one there. Wait, well, I'll take that too, because it came with it. I also felt that one. Let's take a look at your tarot cards first. So you have the Two of Cups in reverse. You have the Tower card. You have the Nine of Swords. And you have the Star in reverse. And then you've also got these two cards here, which are school exams and water. Don't worry if you're not in school and don't have exams, which I doubt you would be unless you're like a uni student, just because these videos are for 18 plus, but it will probably have like a different kind of message in it. Oh my gosh, it's things coming back to haunt you from the past. So it is every cringy moment you've ever had. Anything where you look back on and you're like, oh God, why did I say that or do that? It's coming up in your dreams. And I feel like it's affecting your love life, because you might have been someone who was not well liked in school, who maybe wasn't very popular, and this could really be affecting your self-esteem and the way that you look at yourself, which could affect yourself going into love. Like, you might not think that, you know, you're very attractive or that you're very interesting or, you know, whatever it is, which is not the case at all, especially because we do have the Two of Cups, which is like the biggest love card you could get, even bigger than the Lovers, I would say, in the tarot. And reversed like that, it's still really, really good. Whereas with the Lovers card reversed, it can kind of have a negative connotation. This one really doesn't. So you definitely are going to find love in January in 2025, or just in that year as well. Love is waiting for you, but it is all about kind of shaking up these foundations that you've built your opinion of yourself on. So you've kind of built up this wall of how you view yourself, this wall between you and love, and it's kind of going to get toppled down. So there's going to be a bit of chaos, a little bit of upheaval in terms of getting rid of these little daggers here, these annoying little reminders that aren't true, these little lies that are coming to you about yourself. It's about taking those out. So I can see what, like, you're going to be recovering from this negative way you see yourself. So even if you're kind of having flashbacks to cringy things you've done, you're going to be sort of thinking in your head, okay, well, that was the past, and who cares if it was cringy? I'm not like the worst person. So you're going to kind of recover from that, basically, and be working on that. You've got a lot of big emotions about love, but with water, there's also like a frozen element. So potentially you're feeling closed off from your emotions. You may have closed yourself off to love because of various reasons, but potentially because of past situations. And that's kind of getting shaken up. Something chaotic is going to happen that's either going to make that water freeze over completely, or it's going to melt it, which means you're either going to fully open up to love or fully close yourself off. And with the Star card, there's wish fulfillment. So if there is something that you're wishing for in love, it will come true. And if you're doubting yourself for being like interesting or attractive, guess again, because the Star card is all about you having a star quality. Like, you are someone that draws attention. People notice you. You're magnetizing. You are beautiful. And you are very, like, alluring to people and interesting. And if you think you aren't, you're wrong, because you got the Star card. You're going to be basically tackling all of these things that you have, these negative opinions you have of yourself. you're going to be tackling and conquering them in January. And based on how you feel about love, you're either going to open up to it or close off from it. Neither option is a bad one. It's just how you're feeling, whatever you pick, and that's the right choice for you. So yeah, that's what we're getting here. But I do see love on the cards eventually for you, just because of the 2 cups. Alrighty. So let's see if there are any messages to do with your career. Oh my gosh. So the goldfinch is the Fool card. So you're really strongly, you're getting so many messages of adventure. So it can, the way I'm seeing it is adventures in terms of just life adventures, life experiences. A little bit more so than travel, but travel is also coming up. All these options are coming up. So whatever pertains to you the most is the one for you. So that's really interesting. So you have, wait, I can't read that upside down. Purification, the trout and lily of the valley. You have graceful persistence, the hawk and thistle. And safety, the eel and iris. Okay, so something I'm getting straight away is that potentially for some of you, there may be a period of instability in January. For some of you, and if this doesn't resonate with you, feel free to pick a different pile that maybe vibes with you better. But you may potentially be like out of a job during January, maybe jobless, maybe struggling to find work. And the thing is, with the Knight of Spring here, you're very much being told that although this is definitely a period of loss and worry and kind of stress, with the Knight of Spring, it's about optimism. And the thing is, you're a warrior who can definitely tackle this. So the cards are saying the best way to keep on top of your life and make sure you're able to enter another job or gain back that stability and that safety is by making sure you have a little schedule, make a schedule for yourself, stay organized. You know, it could be as simple as like wake up in the morning, you know, brush teeth, do your hair, do makeup or skincare routine, whatever it is, go for a walk and then come back and have a browse of the jobs that are out there. Like it's something like that. Plan your day and you will be able to overcome this period. This period is temporary, but you can definitely handle it. But the good thing is about this situation as well is that while you may be feeling a little bit unstable and this sense of loss and a little bit like a fish out of water, especially with the fishes here and then the hawk, it's like you've almost been snapped up out of your comfort. The interesting thing is there's a lot of hope and luck and happiness waiting for you because you've got little ladybugs on this tree branch. There's a lot of good things waiting for you out of this situation because you had to lose something that wasn't meant for you in order to gain something that is. And there is a whole lot of adventure waiting for you because of the new opportunity you will get with your next job. So there is a lot of pros and cons to the situation. And when you do have sort of a con to the situation, you're able to handle it because you're just built for it. You're really adaptable. You're able to handle that. But with this card, primarily, there's a lot of success and goodness and positivity around it. There's obviously the essence of travel in there, being spiritually supported by a guide, like a little dog or cat, is usually represented as in the card. So I can definitely see you being looked out for and things working out for you. But obviously, there's that temporary period of a little sense of like wobbliness, unsafety, and a little bit of loss because of that as well. That might not resonate for some of you, but if it didn't, or if it does, this is your pile, and if it didn't, maybe check out another one. Okay, so let's take a look at your side hustle and hobbies, and see why have you only just got like one card? Okay, maybe it's just 2, 3. Cool. And then let's take an oracle card for you. Okay. You got a few. So you have needs. You have change. And you have reassess. You also have the 2 of Swords in reverse. The King of Swords. And the Magician. Ooh, okay. So these do have messages on the back, so let's check those out. You have the right to change your mind. Yep, especially with this card over here. A resistance to change is a resistance to life itself. Open your heart and mind to new beginnings. Wow, you're really being told to change something. You've had 3 change cards, basically. Do you need more time to yourself, a break from thinking too much, a kind encounter with a friend? Your needs matter and it's time to honour them. So your side hustle or hobby or focus on this might actually be quite draining for you, and it's really good to prioritise yourself, pull yourself back from it. There will be success in this path for you, but it fully, you're someone who's able to manifest it. You can apply yourself to any sort of project, side hustle, hobby, whatever it is, and have it be successful, because it's more about you than the hobby itself. So when you're worried about changing a hobby last minute or changing a side hustle, you really shouldn't be, because you're a very adaptable person who can really handle it. And if something is hitting a lull, or you're feeling like, you know what, this just isn't right for me, I think I should do something else, why can't you? You know, you're always allowed to change something, so you can always change it up if that's what you need to do to find like something that you feel good about. So you're definitely being told, if you've been thinking about changing up your side hustle or hobby, do it. do it. Also, my eyes keep being drawn to the number 12 here, so when we check out your angel numbers later, I'm gonna look out for the number 12 as well. And that's basically the core message for you. If you're choosing between 2 different types of hobbies, or if you're seeing different pathways, pick one, and then you can change it later if you want to. Like, nothing's set in stone. You don't have to stick with that choice that you've made. You can always go back. So just try one first and see. So now we're at that part in the reading where I will answer any 3 of your yes or no questions pertaining to the month of January, and you can either ask them in your head or out loud, whichever you prefer, and I'll flip the cards to reveal the answer for you. I'm feeling like you might need a 4th answer, so I'm just going to hold on to that in case some of these don't make sense or something. But remember, whatever doesn't resonate, please don't take it. Only take what resonates. Additionally, these are temporary answers. They only pertain to January. So if you want to ask these questions again and get new answers next month, we always do these readings, so there will be another one in February. So go ahead and ask your first question now, and I will reveal the answer to you now. So we have no. Go ahead and ask your second question, and I will reveal the answer to you now. You're going in the right direction. Ask your third question, and I will answer it for you now. Not the right time. So if there were any answers here that you were confused about and you want more elaboration, go ahead and ask your elaborating question, and I'll flip this, because I think that's why I felt this. Choose a new direction. Wow, that's so crazy that last minute I felt like you needed a 4th card, and in your last pile you were getting like, change it up, choose something new. And that's what you got here. And I think it's worth pointing out that every single card here has a moon. And the moon card can be about your dreams coming true. So yeah, there's an element there. So, and yeah, we've got a clock again. I keep being drawn to this. So I think you're someone who worries about time running out, but you don't realise that like your success is timeless. Like it will just happen when it happens, and it's not ever gonna, you're never gonna run out of success. Success is always available to you. It's just about when you go after it and what, like, when it comes true, how you do it, how you achieve it, how you go about it. But it's always there. It's like an endless resource. So, and it's interesting because that 12 is standing out to me again. Once again, the number 12. So let's take a look at your angel numbers. So the way I'm determining your angel number is by your significator cards. So we're looking at the number 12 and the number 7. So I'm just going to open my grimoire now. You've had a lot of synchronicities in this reading, which is quite interesting. So the number 12 is, the impossible is possible when you take a chance and try something new. What the fuck? It's literally saying change it up and try something new. Again, you're being told this. You're really strongly being told this. I'm freaked out a little bit. So anyways, your number 7 is apologize. You have to apologize for something. I don't know what, but you do. So that's what I'm getting there. So yeah, maybe even apologise to yourself for wasting your time by not changing things up sooner. But yeah, that was your reading poll for. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. If you have subscribed already, I thank you kindly. Thank you very much. If you are drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another reading or tarot related video on TìandTarot. Bye! Alrighty, so welcome Pal 5 to your reading. So you chose this little pampas grass, which I think is so cute. It has like wand vibes and I don't know why. But yeah, so I'm just going to place that there. And this is your significator card. So you have healing, self-love, peace and relaxation. Yes, this is your priority for the year. This is your priority for 2025. It's self-love, healing, peace, relaxation. I love that for you. Okay. So let's take a look at your general life predictions for January in 2025. For some reason I'm feeling to take back these two cards, so I'm actually going to put these here. We will still look at them and include them. But I feel like they are less of a priority than these cards here. So, for your first card, you have Grow Your Own Way. For your Oracle card, yes, be your unique self, bitch. Do your own thing. We have the Fool. I love that. And then we also have the Seven of Cups. You're going to be like daydreaming, fantasizing about your goals and yourself. Like really, this person in both these cards is really lost in thought. They're really invested in the present moment, thinking about like whatever they're doing, like being really caught up in their imagination. They're supported spiritually by like guides and things, and they're on the right path to success. There may be ups and downs, but for the most part it's successful and enjoyable. So you're really just focusing on yourself and having like a good time, really. We've got the Two of Swords, the Ace of Coins, and the Two of Coins. Ooh, okay. So you might have a lot on your plate this this month. So it might be that you're doing a lot, but you love it. So interestingly, there's like a black and white dog in both of these. You might want to look up black and white dogs later online as like, what do they symbolize spiritually? It could be that you're getting a black and white dog, or a black and white dog could be your spirit guide for the year as well. And they're so happy. They're here to make sure you're happy, basically, and you're putting yourself first, because an element of the Two of Coins is, yes, you're busy, but you're loving it. Like, she's smiling, you know, she's really enjoying it. But there are going to be things that you're uncertain of in the year ahead, things you're choosing between. And you're also going to have a lot of ideas for prosperity, for like financial gain. And you're happy to try those out and see if they work for you and give those a go as well. So that could also be these dreams and goals up here as well. Lovely. So let's take a look at your love life now. So I'm just going to pull an oracle card for you first. And let's pull some tarot cards for you as well. Ooh. Okay. I also felt those last minute. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards. So firstly, we have the Weather. So that's giving like a lot of emotions, quite tumultuous, very like up and down, good and bad. So very passionate is the vibe I'm getting. Okay, so in terms of your tarot cards, you have the Knight of Crystals, the Magician in reverse, the Justice in reverse, the Death in reverse, the Moon in reverse, and the Five of Diamonds as well. Lots of big energies. You might be feeling left out of love a little bit locked out from getting what you want. Like it just doesn't feel achievable it doesn't feel like this is something you're able to manifest. It doesn't feel fair, it doesn't feel just. I feel like it could be that people have been so toxic and options are so toxic out there that even if you want love, you just feel like it's not going to be possible in this kind of climate, which is very fair. And so you're feeling like kind of resigned to the situation of not finding love. So I feel like you're going to be turning things around and focusing on yourself, focusing on peace, dealing with this inner turmoil, dealing with those feelings and kind of working through them. I mean, I do definitely see a love for you, whether that's now or in the future. But as of right now, I see you focusing on yourself. As we said, you have the self-love card, peace, relaxation. So I think you're going to be going through a little bit of a transformation where you're reflecting on the fact that you want love but maybe cannot have it right now. And so you're going to basically be focusing on yourself for now. But with the Moon card and the Knight of Crystals, I am seeing that your dreams eventually will come true. This thing that you think is unachievable may actually possibly be achievable for you, but just way later down the line, but not present right now. Right now, I think you're working on yourself and on balance and healing. Okay. Because with the Justice card is why I'm feeling like it will just work out for you as well. Okay, so let's take a look at your career now. And let's pull you some tarot cards for your career as well. Sorry, I had to go pet my cat because she's gorgeous. I couldn't resist. Anyway, so we have the Five of Winter in reverse. We've got digitals. We have the Four of Winter. The Page of Autumn in reverse. The Five of Autumn. This is very interesting. So lots of fives going on. 5 might also be your angel number, so we will check that out at the end of the reading. We have Starting Over with the Snake and Fern. Healing Wounds, the Badger and Ginkgo. The Elk and Ash with Strength. Healing Wounds, and you have the healing card. Wow, that's so powerful. Anyways, let me shimmy this up a little bit. The Turtle and Coriander with Satisfaction. I love that one, it's so wholesome. And then the Quail and Gooseberry with Anticipation. I'm going to put that here. You're not going to see it properly, but just so it's there. So this is very interesting. There's lots to unpack here. Potentially, especially with the 5s here, I'm seeing a sense of loss. In terms of career, it could be a loss of enjoyment, maybe a loss of the job itself, maybe a loss of passion for it. Either way, you definitely heal and bounce back. You start all over. Like, you end up being really satisfied with what you've got. You kind of saw this coming. I feel like whatever the outcome is, you definitely saw it coming. This did not kind of surprise you in any kind of way. You kind of knew. And there might be an element with the mirror here of self-reflection needed. So maybe it's like you knew this loss was coming, and so you maybe burned bridges along the way and were like, fuck it, I don't even care anymore, because you knew it was coming. Maybe you had 2 weeks notice to do, like maybe you had to do your 2 weeks before, you know, you had to leave or something like that. And so maybe you just didn't give a care in the world anymore and you just did what you wanted to and didn't really put effort in. But reflecting on that, you're like, actually, I shouldn't have burned that bridge just in case, you know, just you for good measure. But I definitely think this is something you saw coming. The thing is, because you're really strong, you're definitely able to move through this and pass this on to something better. You are turning a new page in your career, which is really exciting. So this clearing out of this old negative energy, this old negative situation, is going to propel you forward into something you were destined for. That's actually so much more better suited to you and more positive. So whether that's a new job, a new mindset, is a loss of passion or enjoyment, self-reflecting on that and then kind of working to bring that back is happening through the healing and the strength that you have. And then I do see satisfaction for you, whether that's in the future with whatever next job you have or whether it's in this job as well. And it's about you redoing and starting over and kind of reshaping yourself and reforming yourself in the job that you do have in order to enjoy it more. So there will be enjoyment, but I do see a temporary loss first, in some kind of way, of either passion, enjoyment, or the job itself. Okay. That's so crazy, though, that you've had healing cards left, right, and centre, and starting over. Very interesting. Alrighty, so let's take a look at your side hustle or hobbies or anything that you kind of do that doesn't pertain to your career or like love life or personal life. Anything kind of like that, in that kind of territory. Let's see what messages you have. So we're using the Star Spinner Tarot here. Ooh. Nice. Alrighty, so let's take a look at these cards. So firstly, you have Mind, you have Pampa, you have Calm, you have the Eight of Swords in reverse, you have the Six of Coins in reverse, you also have the Five of Coins in reverse. Ooh, okay. Interesting. So let's look at some of these messages. So for calm, we have a breakdown is often followed by a breakthrough. Remain calm. That's really encapsulating the juxtaposition of the 5 and 6 here as well. For pamper, we have self-care is a necessary, not a luxury. That's why we've got relaxation and self-love and peace over here. We also have mind. You are the master of your inner world and you decide how the outer world affects you. Cultivate a calm inner state. Ooh, wait, did we have calm twice? Yeah, we did. So it said cultivate a calm inner state, and then you've got the calm card here as well. So remain calm. You may be a little bit stressed about your side hustle. It's time to not stress about it. I feel like it hasn't reaped the monetary success you kind of thought it would, whether that required like customers to buy something or views to, you know, increase engagement or something like that. It hasn't worked out financially how you thought it would, and you're being urged to take care of yourself because that can really affect you emotionally. So go and take care of yourself, relax, take a break, and reevaluate, because there's something that's holding you back that you're not seeing in this situation. And I think when you relax and you start healing inwardly and looking inwardly, you're gonna recognize what this thing is and realize, oh, that's the thing I was missing that was holding me back. And then when you come back to it, you're actually able to start making money. Things are actually starting to cultivate. There's fruitfulness in this side hustle, in this hobby that you have. Things start working out. Oh my god, the little cat with the love heart on his butt. That's so cute. Maybe that's also a spirit animal of yours, cats and dogs, for this year. But yeah, so I can see that there's something standing in your way. But once you actually start taking care of yourself, prioritizing that, it's almost like an epiphany and it comes to you, and then you realize that's what I need to do to make money, and it actually works. So that's what I'm seeing for you, pile 5. That's so exciting. Okay, let's move on to our next section of the reading. I'm also vibing with these like turquoisey sunset pastel colours. I feel like they're your colours, and dark blues as well. Okay, so we're now moving on to the second from last part of your reading, which is essentially to answer any of your 3 yes or no questions pertaining to the month of January. So you can go ahead and ask these questions either in your head or out loud, and I will try my best to answer those for you. So start by asking question 1, and then I'll flip the card to answer that question, and then so on and so forth. We'll move like that in sequence. So just remember, only take what resonates, and remember these answers are temporary because we do this every month. So this only pertains to January. In February, these answers could be different if you want to ask the same questions next month. So keep that in mind. So go ahead and ask question 1 now. I will reveal the answer to you now. Not the right time. Go ahead and ask question 2, and I will reveal the answer to you now. This is the sign. So this is the sign to do that, or to, you know, not do it, depending on what your question was. Go ahead and ask question 3 now. No. So again, take what resonates. If you don't vibe, feel free to leave it behind. We're now going to be moving on to the last part of your reading, which is finding your angel numbers. And instead of using the numerology dice, I'm going to go by the number on your significator card and also the number 5, because that kept coming up for you. So 1 and 5 for you. So I'm going to go through my grimoire now and look up what those mean for you. Okay, so for number 1, we have open your heart to someone who is difficult. I wouldn't advise you to do that, but the cards are saying that, so I have to relay the information to you. And then for number 5, we have ask a loved one for help if you're feeling low. That's very nice. That might help in your healing process as well. Could be a difficult loved one as well to get along with. But yeah, those were your cards, and that was your reading, Pole 5. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed already, I thank you very much. That's very nice of you. If you were drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another reading or another tarot related video on TìandTarot. Bye!